Hello and welcome to review of the Rider Fans release Kamen Rider Decade accessory pack. This set is for people who only have the Kamen Rider Neo Decade version because this figure is missing the white belt as well as the Violent Emotion head that came with the original. And the original these days, the price has skyrocketed at ridiculous. It's like triple the price, whereas the Neo Decade version you can still get it at a somewhat spiked up price but not too much. So we're gonna compare the packs we have here with the original release to see how close or how different it is, as well as see how well you can fit it onto the Neo Decade version. And oh boy, the color difference between these two is good old classic Decade. Yes, so I have 4 boxes here of these accessory packs. That's because I bought 3 Neo Decade versions and I just bought an extra one here just in case there was like something wrong with the order or whatever. So all of these have tape on them. You pull them out and you get this tiny little package, and inside this tiny little package you get the 4 pieces that I'm just going to pull out. So what do you get inside? Well, first of all, the most important part is the belt buckle itself, including the white thing. This is in the closed form. We also have it in the open form, just like the original accessory. We have the belt itself, which it's nice to have, nice that they added it here, so that's cool. This one's also made in a soft rubbery plastic, just like the official stuff. Also has a peg hold thing on the side or holder connector for the Decker Ride Booker. And finally, we have the Violent Emotion head. Whoops, dropped that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm just going to compare these one by one with the official one from the original Decade release. The one on the left will always be the original one, and the one on the right is one of the copy ones. After checking all 4 of these, the only defect I can see with these 4 belts is that this one has a tiny bit of silver overspray over that line. Otherwise, all of them are done perfectly. So in terms of softness, they feel exactly the same. I can't tell the difference. So what difference are there? Well, first of all, you have the Bandai trademark on the official one. Second difference is, of course, the coloring. Now, this isn't because this is older, so it starts to yellow or anything. The Neo Decade version also has the same colored belt. So this one's a bit more silver. This one's more of a chromish sort of metal color. On this side here, we notice that this one, the square shape there, is in like a diamond position, like north, south, east and west, whereas this one is slightly different. Like the square is rotated just a little bit clockwise compared to the knockoff. On the back here, there are more rows of lines on this connector piece. There's less rows of lines here. But a plus side for the copy is that this one has the mold ejection on the bottom, which sometimes equals this really ugly nub there, whereas that's unseen here. There's no nub on the fake one. So yeah, that's one point to the fake. So yes, the fake is, the coloring is a little bit off, more silver, more bright. Some people might prefer that. The molding isn't exactly the same, with slightly less details on the back and the side, but it doesn't have that ugly molding joint as the original. Next up, the driver in open mode. First of all, the color again is a brighter silver on the copy. The Decade words are a bit thicker and wider, probably because they couldn't etch it as thin as the original one. And the black coloring there is a bit different to the original one as well. If you flip it around the back, you can see the overall molding is different, as well as you see the molding lines also different as well. Both of these have little cutoff on the bottom, not too big of a difference. Now, I did notice that both of these, they didn't quite color the white dots in the middle there, although the Neo Decade one, you can see inside the purple circles there are white details painted there. So next up is the belt buckle. The backside has the same difference as the other open one. See, the molding is slightly different and the coloring is slightly different, and the etchings are slightly different as well. I also noticed that the 3 sort of colored dots is a bit more of a faded color than the official one. In terms of the driver itself, you see underneath the light there, this red is like a consistent color, whereas here you can still see a white ring around that, so that's a bit different. I don't know, it's just different, doesn't matter too much to me. But what does matter to me is that the coloring, you can see this one, it's a bit like less consistent on mine. See, the front and the back is slightly different color, so more consistent on the knockoff copy one. And the silver rim around that is also brighter. I kind of prefer that on the knockoff. So yeah. Also notice that the knockoff one is a bit of a thicker plastic. If I were just to compare that with the Neo one as well, this one's also thicker. Now you can stick a card in there, of course, just like the original one, but maybe because it's thicker and whatnot, as soon as I tilt this, the card's gonna fall out. If I stick this card in the original one, it stays in there. You're gonna need like blue tack or some pliers or something to pull it back out. But either way, you're not gonna see it underneath the light anyway. You can see the tip of it where it's inserted, but otherwise it doesn't really matter. You're not gonna see the inside or the center. The logo's not gonna shine through. One last thing about this one is that I looked at all of these prints around the side, and the Den-O ones, and all of them don't seem to be printed too well. None of them have a perfect circle of the Den-O logo stamped on these belts. Now all of the other logos are printed pretty much spot on compared to the original. And finally, the head. The coloring on the knockoff one is a bit more of a doughish, pinkish color, similar to the shoulder pads there, but it's leaning a bit more towards purple than it is to pink. The green eye coloring is spot on, the black is spot on, and the purple there is a little more of a duller color, whereas this one's more transparent. And then here, the silver is again like smoother, brighter. And I did notice that the overall lining coloring of the silver here is a bit more spot on than the official one. And here's a quick look at the inside, as you see just the molding and plastic differences coloring there. I also noticed that all four of these heads this side here, they don't quite fit quite flush, so you're gonna have to like super glue that down yourself or whatever. And I tried to take it apart. I'm thinking it's not glued down or anything, but no, there is some glue in there somewhere. So this side's just something you got to deal with just a little bit. And just a quick look around. There's more of a consistent shiny black around the back here, whereas this one you see is that sort of plastic shine, and this one has like they've actually done stuff to it. There's probably like a painted layer on the real one that it's missing on the knockoff. But without a one-to-one comparison, I'll still say the color here is a little bit off, especially when you come to here, because this one is a transparent piece that's painted, whereas this one is just a black plastic. So yeah, so the black plastic not printed as nicely, but the silver, the green eyes, and the front here all look pretty good. If you just look at it from the front, it looks great. If you look from the side, like I said, you've got to glue that down as well properly. But otherwise it's very close to the official thing. The bootleg driver is very loose on the original one, and the original driver is very tight, and I wouldn't recommend plugging it onto this copy. As for the entire buckle, the copy buckle attaches very well to the belt and vice versa. So we bring in our Neo Decado here. Let's remove his head. Now, even though he doesn't feature the extra accessories, he's still the exact same figure, exact same mold that was designed for these stuffs to be removed. So there we go. Let's just get this random belt here, stick it on his hip, pop on. Let's grab one of these belts. Let's see, plug that in. The ride booker. So, and just get any one of these random heads. Oh, get the other one then. Stick that on. And we now have Camarada Decado Real Bone in Violent Emotion. That's great. And we want him to open his Decker driver, so we're going to take that, get one of these open ones, get the Decker driver back in there, and that's the right way around. Oops, no, that's the wrong way around. Boop, and there we go. That works great. So overall, if you have Neo Decade and you can't afford the original one and you want some accessories to convert this back into the original Decade, because let's be honest here, the white color is nicer. Yeah, this is one way to go. Now, numerous people have also done kits like this. I've seen there's a Hong Kong group, SHF Gorge or Oak or Change House, Editing House, Convert House. I don't know what their English name is. I guess if they have an English name, I'll stick it in here somewhere. So there's a Hong Kong group that did a lot of these, but they were made per order, like they say, hey, we're going to make some now. Does anyone want them? So the chances of you getting one now from them is, unless they have any spares, I don't think you can get them from them anymore, because once they made it, they've made it. There are a few other sources out there, but this is something that I've seen consistent. There's a lot of this on Taobao, so maybe AliExpress as well. If you want to convert your DK back into the white one, this is a pretty good set. It's not perfectly converted. There's a few niggles here and there, but some areas are nicer than the original. So yeah, it's great. So when you consider the original price of this was like 500 something, and then now the aftermarket price is 700 something, and one of these kits is about 100, and then you got 150 plus the postage under 200. So let's say 900 total for one of these figures as well as one of these sets. That is still cheaper than the 1,500 that people are trying to sell off in Hong Kong right now. Who knows what other prices they're going to be paying for. So if you already have this figure, this is a great way to convert him into the white belt version with the Final Emotion head. It's great. You also get a spare belt, which they really didn't have to include, but it's nice that it is here. I'm not complaining there. But if you don't have this version of DK already and you're scratching your head, I like DK of the white belt, but it's so expensive, then you can definitely consider picking this one up as well as the white belt pack. It is still better and cheaper than the other prices with the white belt. And plus you get extra DK, ride cards and accessories and stuff, so win-win. Hey, the only downside is that, in my review I did say that the colors are less consistent than the original one, but hey, the other one is very expensive. So yeah, definitely check this belt out. Subscribe, suggesting comment below, and take care and have a nice day. I will see you guys soon. Bye bye now.